And building off of Destiny's piece, right? Prisons are a racialized issue. They are a racial justice issue, meaning our work is particularly necessary and pertinent in the Black Lives Matter era. Prisons perpetuate inequalities such as racism. Oh, hello, Destiny. um, Thank you so much for your piece. Prisons perpetuate inequalities such as racism and poverty. And so with our work, we know that closing prisons involves sort of like transforming society and building on the work of like restorative and transformative justice in the youth justice system. And so to go for the final 5 campaign priorities, our 5 priorities, you see what we did there, is 1, close the 5 remaining Illinois youth prisons within the next 2 years, starting with the largest facilities, which is St. Charles and Harrisburg. And we'll talk a little bit about St. Charles at the end of our presentation. Also reinvest in cities and counties that send the most youth to these youth prison facilities. So thinking of the reinvest, divest model that's slowly coming about in prison and police abolition organizations and discussions. Millions of dollars are pumped into these prisons in order to sustain them. So imagine a world where all those resources and all that money can go back into communities and to prevent community violence that would have led youth to go in the system in the first place. We also want to inform the public and do events like these in more direct outreach to discuss alternative ways of addressing harm, to discuss the intersecting social systems and oppressive systems that lead youth to end up in these youth prisons, right? We're talking about an entire overhaul of society, entire transformation. We want to reimagine the youth justice system, which we'll talk about later in the program, of like different examples of how we can tangibly and materially see and begin to think of a world without prisons. And of course, personally for me, it would probably be foremost is to center formerly incarcerated youth, their families, advocates in transforming the youth prison system. And even these priorities were drafted with impacted youth and impacted people leading the way. So 1 second. And so I'm going to pass it off to Anne-Marie, who's going to introduce our next, I guess it's a creative, informative, experiential piece. And so take it away, Anne-Marie.